I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3, roll call. Quorum being present, we'll move on to item 4, minutes of the meetings for November 19th and December 3rd, 2007, presented to board members as before. Second. A motion by Steve, second by Monica. Any additions, corrections? Hearing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carries. The next item is item 5, public hearings. We have 2 of them on the agenda this evening. The first one is item A, and that is consider the request of Robert Larson, agent for L&R Enterprises of Pleasant Prairie. He is the owner of the property located at 7800 128th Street. This is for a variance from section 395-72G of the Land Acknowledgement and Development Control Ordinance related to providing basement gravity sanitary sewer service, and this is to the homes proposed to be constructed on the property. Jean?
Mr. President, the petitioner is requesting the approval of a certified survey map this evening, and it's going to be considered later on the agenda. But this request is to subdivide property located at 7800 128th Street into 2 parcels. Lot 1 is proposed to be 5 acres, and Lot 2 is proposed to be 25.9 acres. A shared driveway will be provided through Lot 1 to service Lot 2. In addition, utility easements are being dedicated through Lot 1 to provide sanitary sewer to service the new homes on both Lots 1 and 2. Section 395-72G of the Village's Land Division and Development Control Ordinance requires that homes have basement gravity sanitary sewer service. However, due to the depth of the sanitary sewer in 128th Street and the location of where homes could be placed on lots 1 and 2, and the environmental limitations on this site, there's wetlands, floodplain, shoreline, primary corridor. The petitioner is requesting a variance in order to install grinder pumps on lots 1 and 2. And this will be, again, as a result of doing a further land division this evening and wanting to build homes on both lots 1 and 2, where gravity service is not available to service the lots. The granting of variance will not be considered contrary to the public's interest, safety, and welfare, since the property owners will be responsible for the installation, maintenance, and use of the grinder pump. And without these pumps, they would not be able to get service to these lots. This is a matter for public hearing.
Once again, this is a public hearing, and we ask that you use the microphone and give us your name and address for the record. Did we have a sign up for this item?
We have signed up, but nobody signed this one.
Anybody wishing to speak on this item? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and open up the board. Comment or question, Dean?
I just want to mention that the petitioner, as well as their engineer, are in the audience if the board has any questions.
Okay. Board comments, questions?
I have a question, Eugene. They don't be connected with the, are they going to be connected to the municipal sewer?
Yes.
In
Yes, 828th Street.
Thank you.
Other board comments or questions?
I do.
Monica?
Jean, how many other lots have sanitary grinder pumps on their lots?
I don't think I know that answer. Mike, do you have any idea how many we might have in the village?
Less than a dozen. And you know, the precedent that the board has really established in placement of the grinders is, one, if there was it possible to get gravity feed due to the distance and length of the run that's going to be in there, or there just wasn't enough pitch in the existing sanitary sewer line to accommodate it. One of the things about running a grinder pump is, especially in an area that's as environmental challenge as this, is the profile of that trench is very narrow, cause a lot of disruption. So this, in my mind, is an ideal application for it. There is a grinder pump that's actually connected to the first main that feeds this line a little bit farther up on the east side of the Canadian Pacific Railway line. So this area we have allowed it because in part, because in this case it'd be environmental, but just the general access to the sewer. These areas were not meant to be served by that sewer line that services that area. It was really a conveyance from the Timber Ridge subdivision over to the 73-1 plant. In fact, in town days, the late 60s, early 70s, they were did plan this for that type of
Mike?
Mike, what prevents, the grinder pump is used when the depth of the sewer line in the home is going to be deeper than the sewer line in the street. What prevents backflow?
But it's got a backflow preventer on it, so that there's a check valve on the grinder pump, much like your sump pump, only it's a lot more substantial. So the only way that anything's coming in, that nothing's coming in, that thing, all it's doing is discharging. Once the pump isn't pumping anymore, the valve shuts, turns off, and nothing can come back in it. So, you know, in Illinois, where they really allowed a lot of grinder pumps and injection pumps, is where they've made it easier for developers to put in sanitary sewer lines where they bury the lines like only 4 feet deep. So a lot of people are using grinder pumps or injection pumps to get sewage to the street, saves the developer money. And then, you know, one of the burdens that the owners will have is these things can be, depending on what's going on in your household, can be a little maintenance intensive, but that'd be a private.
I'd move approval of the variance.
Second?
A motion by Mike, second by Monica. Any other discussion on this item?
I got one more question for Ginny. Ginny, do they need to have a grinding pump and an elevation pump too, to elevate the sewer up to discharge? Or just the grinding pump? Elevating pump too, or no? Like,
We need two separate pumps.
Yeah.
there are two separate pumps?
I don't know if the engineers in the audience and possibly can address that question to him, Steve.
Mark Everly, Nielsen Mance Barber Engineers, 1339 Washington Avenue, Racine. What was your question
My
again?
question is, that you're going to have a grinding pump, okay, to discharge up to the main, are you going to have an elevation pump, elevating the sewer to the main or not?
It's actually a single pump that sits below grade in the basement, so a single pump will pump it above grade and to the main.
Okay. So it's going to go to a certain height, and then gravity is going to go to the main?
Actually, these type of grinder pumps will pump through 1.5 inch tube. They will pump 5 miles. So it'll pump it all the way to the main, whether it's up or down or sideways.
Never heard of it, that's why I asked you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, we have a motion on the floor and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So carries. The next item is item B. I'm going to turn that over to trustee Serpy. It affects property owned by my family, so I'm going to abstain from this item.
Thank you, John. Item B is consider construction of sanitary sewer improvements on Main Station Road, east of County Truck Highway C, 1,750 feet to the Ashbury Creek development. And final resolution 7-92 approving the said project. Who's going to have this?
Yeah. Trustee Serby, this is a resolution for the final termination of construction expenses related to the extension of sanitary sewer main Station Road to the Ashbury Creek development. The developers requested that he be afforded right of recovery for the expenses associated with providing the sanitary sewer to that subdivision, which will benefit other properties along Main Station, as well as providing access in terms of depth and reach to lands to the east. As such, you know, developers, when they request that under our land division ordinance, they have the right to do that, and the village board, pursuant to Public Service Commission order, has the responsibility to conduct an assessment so the properties are aware of, affected properties are aware of what is out there. Public Service Commission has also placed a 10-year limit on the right of recovery. And in this project,